Oi, oi. Happy Tuesday, the 17th of November 2020. Just going to kick straight into another day of looking at the markets here for trading. Horses here. This one's 5 minutes to the off. That's a bit close to the wire. Haven't really got a temperature for this market. Just going to see when the next one is after that. 12:33. I'm going to give this...
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I'm gonna pass on this one. Can see some stuff happening, but just left this a bit too late to really jump on that. So here we go for another day. Just setting some stuff up here. If you happen to be following on YouTube as well, because I do upload these after doing them on Twitch to YouTube, just follow or like if it's been useful for you. So let's have a look. So we've got a favourite, odds on when it's less than twos. This has been coming in but then finding support. We've also got a second favourite here, which is at sixes. So this odds on favourite here is going to dominate the book. It's going to be more than 50% of the probability, so it's going to be more impactful on the other ones. Impactful, there's a good word of the day. So this one, we can see a bit close to the mic there, clipping. This one here has started to drift, finding quite rangy in its drift though, and it's almost the mirror image of what, oh no, actually when I say mirror image, it's very similar to what the favourite's been doing. But 11 minutes to the off, there's not really much activity yet that I can act on. 85 grand almost matched, tight book, but very stagnant at the moment, so just waiting for a bit more activity to come into the market so we can make a decision or two. But whilst that's just happening, just looking at a few things on the other screen, making sure I've got my setups ready in case just daily kind of housekeeping. It's best to have if you're doing this, well, what I do depends on what you want to do, but have my Betfair screen up, just in case. So that's the website rather than the software that I'm using here, the Betfair website, just in case I need to take something to the wire and have video up. I just want to be able to access that reasonably quickly. So let's have a look now. So still waiting for some money to come into the market. This isn't tradable just yet, but you can see this this ranginess that I was talking about, which in the channel is hitting resistance and support. You can see this in the price here. It hasn't, the brunt of the money has been matched between these odds of 1.86 and 1.84. Just looking back at some of the videos that I done across the week, one of the things I think I might have been doing that I can improve on is just too frequently trading ranges in the anticipation of the break. So you can see here, this has come in and it's range, but it could break up and it could break down. So I have been taking tentative positions before the break had occurred. It's a bit more conservative. That's one approach. As long as you go in light in terms of the position size, that's one approach. Just anticipate the break. But another approach is to wait for the break to happen and then didn't see this. Wait for the break to happen and then jump on it. So this, for example, I've missed this, but chatting away there. Wasn't really looking at what was happening in the market. This has started to drift dramatically, broken that previous resistance. So this is what I'm talking about. There's been a breakout. Need for it to pull back, and ideally a bit more money on these. See, it's just double-digit numbers, which isn't great. Okay, that's jumped out. That's going to push this back down a bit more, most likely. Or it could have been this move that helped push that up. So just going to shut up here for a moment and just think how I'm going to move this, play this. It's coming down to sevens. Could find support off of sevens. This crossover point here. It's gone up. It's hit. It's moved. There's been upward movements, but it's hit its resistance. These previous prices, previous levels that you can see here in the chart, around these levels, 1.89, and it hasn't discerningly broken it yet. So I'm just holding tight for now. Trying not to lose money with silly trades. So this does now look like it's going to break higher. So I'm a bit more willing to take a position, albeit a light one. Although, no, actually, second guessing myself. This and the others weren't really making any discernible moves lower, which has made me less willing to take this position. Because what I want to see is a seesaw action. I want to see these. Okay, that's a bit better. I've seen this come in. So it's a seesaw action. As this goes up, these should come down. And because this is quite a high price favourite, it may be the case where on aggregate, if these start to come in, so the combined move of these together, all moving in, could push this higher. But yeah, looks like I've got at least part of this right. Oh shit, not concentrating. Did not want to increase that position. I'm just going to lay some of that off. It's a bit too heavy. You can see I increased that position there by laying it again, when in actuality I wanted to put in a tentative close. So I'm just going to pay a bit more attention today in terms of potential reversal points, because I felt that I was leaving things in a bit too long. Oh, okay, now I've in fact closed that out completely at twos, which isn't too bad, to be honest. I could have stayed in with this for a bit more to the upside. Slight lapses in concentration there, but overall, you know, on the right side of this, still 5 minutes to the off, 13p.
This event will start
profit.
in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
But yeah, not. I mean, I got direction on this, but I was a bit sloppy with the money management on this. What I was looking to do, I thought I had a bigger net stake in, which would have meant I would have just paid more attention to when this could reverse. But to be honest, I got out at twos, which is a reasonably sensible level to have at least taken a partial exit. It was the full exit in this instance, but this is that again, that reversal area. Typically, the not always a reversal, it's a reactionary point. So twos is the crossover point, which is what I also call psych level. So this is a level where you're likely to see reaction just because people like those round numbers, twos and threes. So there's going to be things that happen at that point. And as you can see, the timing on that seemed okay because it's now falling away. It's hitting resistance. It's coming away. I'm hesitant now to take more positions. In fact, I'm happy to green up on this. So whatever happens on this, I will now make 14p regardless of what horse. Oh, hang on, just wait for this. Yeah. So regardless of what horse comes in, I will make a profit. So I don't really care on what the outcome is. So my work there's done. There's still 3 minutes to the off. Just move on to the next one. Wow, that is a 12.50. That is quite a way off. 20 minutes off. So bit of a waiting game, really. I might just pause the stream while I'm waiting on that. Yeah, just gonna pause that rather than have to yammer away. So I'm just back. I'm just making sure this thing's still recording. I think it is. Hopefully hopefully it's still recording. No, there we go. Okay, that's definitely recording now. Perfect. So to be honest, there's only a few minutes gone, but I thought I might as well just have the lead up nicely captured. So I mean, that's part and parcel of what this is about. A lot of it is boring. It's not about fast forwarding to the exciting parts. In this, you have to sit through a lot of quiet times, and that's the important thing. Is to do nothing can be the hardest thing when there's when you want to do something. So at the moment, we've got this favorite here is a bit odd. What's going on here? So it's come down, it's streamed in, it's kind of started to drift. It's hit resistance at these previous highs here, which is about 3.5. So yeah, it's just going into that resistance now. It's fallen away and it's touched it again in recent times. So like a double top, if you want, in technical analysis terms, if you know the financial markets. So that could mean it falls away, it could mean it breaks through, who knows. Certainly if it breaks that resistance, it's probably going to be quite violent, that 3.5, because it is a long-standing level. But yeah, that's just me guessing, really. Until it happens, I can't really read anything else into that. The second favorite here, first thing that pops out is at 4s around this crossover point. It's finding resistance to that, moving higher. It's been quite choppy, so sideways, come down, and it's just been kind of consolidating for ages around 4s. So again, it's really not trying to preempt anything too much, but just wait to see what the market gives me. Got another 15 minutes to the off, so it's still early doors. But yeah, just have to wait for a little bit. Just have a quick reorder just in case something has drifted or come in that I hadn't noticed. And as I said in previous videos, generally in the day, the space in between these, as the day goes on, the space between the races gets less. So 15 minutes is quite a reasonable gap, but it should be going further on between 5 and 10 minutes between each. As we go through the afternoon. So it looks like it's moved away from that resistance and potentially making lower lows. Well, all-time low. It's approaching its all-time low in terms of this market. You can see this was the previous low. So it could find some support at this level. And if it is going to break through, most likely pull back before doing that and then move lower. So produce a lower high and then go and bust through that previous support to make a new lower low. This is helping support that assumption in that this has started to drift, which pulls this in. Again, that seesaw motion. As this goes up, this goes down in general. can't be because there are other selection. It's not just a 2-horse race. Obviously, these coming in is going to affect, or going out is going to affect the other ones. They're all interrelated. So I'm looking for opportunity to short this now. So, which would be, so we've had that pullback that I was talking about, which is good. It's finding resistance against 4, so that's producing that lower high. But what I want is for this to then start moving out, which will give some confirmation to potentially shorting this. So I want to see some money coming in on this side, or money coming in on this side to give indication of that. Or which I'm not seeing yet. Certainly if this breaks much higher, then that kind of invalidates what I was thinking. And in fact, looking at the chart, it's not really persisting with the lower lows and lower highs. Started to consolidate. Still up for shorting this, but just need to wait a bit really. I'll go in light. So a small position, only a £2 stake. One £2 stake. Okay. Starting to see out the corner of my eye that move higher. So I have increased the position, and using the premise that this is going to act as resistance, the 4s, I've got my stop loss placed reasonably sensibly, but just need to be, wary of the price stagnating. So I've got part of that position filled. Still got £4 net stake. Just looking for signs of reversal. So that would be this coming in. Just trying to not to be too greedy. And listening to what the market's doing. So on the touch at this point, so going to hopefully get this matched, and still got a £2 stake in there. So I've got this tentative kind of close in here to take me out, but I'm not adverse if I see any rapid movement down. I'm not adverse to moving this down to potentially ride out a bigger move, but also I'm just looking for signs of reversal just to protect this profit. Although we have got quite a bit to the off, just want to protect this profit, so I'm not adverse to moving this up to take a lesser profit, depending on what the market says. So at the corner eye, I'm just looking at this. Ideally this is going to break that resistance, which should allow this to move lower. But should this start to move lower, I will be more than willing to move this up. And one reason I'm not just, moving the order around all the time is because I've got a decent position on this. As you can see, this shows that if £65 of this, whatever's on this level, is matched, then I'll get filled, most likely. Let's have a quick glance at the charts. Just consolidating. Hasn't really persisted with much lower lows in recent moves, and we're just gonna take that out. Just judging what this was doing. So it's finding support. It hadn't broken it in quite a while. It wasn't persisting to make lower lows. This was starting to move in, which is likely to push this out. So I decided to take my money and run. And good thing is, still got 8 minutes to the off. Made some green. Just gonna hedge that. But still look for more opportunities because there is still a decent chunk of time till the off. So I'm looking for something to some signs of it breaking support or resistance. Now just and the problem with just using the charts for that premise is they do lag. So that can be a bit of a problem if you're making decisions just based solely on these charts. Let's just have a quick reorder. Been very flat, hasn't it, for quite a while, as has this. Just listening to the market. Try not to do anything too rash. And again, just looking back over the videos, I need some more empirical evidence because it is still just a gut feeling at the moment. But I feel that some of these trades I've been just holding for too long or getting in too near to the off. And obviously, the less time that there is, the less opportunity there is to maneuver. So that means, making more profits or, more specifically, reducing losses. It gets more difficult as the time ticks down because you're running out of time. But 6 minutes to the off. I am tempted just to move on to the next one, actually. Just see how that works out for me today, because the last few days have made losses, and my gut feeling is that I've made more money when I've been further away from the off. So I'm just going to test that a little bit today. So that's 2 green on the day. I did manage to break even yesterday. I think I was down the grand sum of 20p yesterday, but again, it's not the stakes that matter, it's the strike rate and the ability to stick to rules. Just to reinforce, if you're wondering why I'm working with such small stakes at the moment, I'm not, ironically, not looking to make money. I'm looking to trade well. But yesterday I had, in the recordings, I was down 20p. There was one final trade that I'd done about 7 o'clock, which brought me to break even. So today, let's see if we can, well, we see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. But it'd be nice to make a profit on the day. More importantly, not to lose, not to make any silly trades. That's the goal. Don't mind losing money as long as it's not a silly trade that is the reason for that. So we've got I'm guessing this is Limerick. So 50 grand matched, 10 minutes to the off. That's a decent amount. Odds on favourite. Drifted, come down, gone and drifted again after it looks like hitting a lot of resistance, created a double top, but didn't fall away. Instead, persisted higher. This has come in, steamed, Just waiting for some money to appear, really. These double digits aren't really a good sign if I'm trying to trade. But this, based on what's happening here, all these are coming in, which is drifting, causing this to drift, or vice versa. This drifting is causing these to come in. So the intuitive play here is to look for long positions on this favorite here, but I'm just not speeding into that anytime soon. Just wary of this approaching fours, which could cause support and bounce, thus causing this to come in again. So this breaking fours and this showing persistent signs of moving higher and breaking twos ideally would be a good sign to be on the back of this to go long. But if that happens, who knows? So I'm going to anticipate it's going to have trouble getting through type 2. So you can see it's the highest it's ever been. Just keeping my eye on this out the corner of my eye to see. Okay. I'm going to take the punt. Increase the position. That wasn't a smart. Got a bad fill on that. Oh, wait a minute. Could be a fake breakout where it breaks and then pulls back, but I'm okay to hold this for now. 7 minutes to the off. This is holding support here. So this did break twos, but this didn't break fours. So I think a bigger push would be more likely if this here also breaks through fours. Six minutes to the off. So it is pulling back, finding support. So it's on the other side of this now. So whereas before it was going into that and then falling away, going into it and then falling away, it's the opposite now. So it's broken through, and that previous resistance has now become support, where it's coming into it and then moving up slightly, coming into it and then moving up slightly. And you'll see that again and again in various markets. Previous resistance becomes support. But really need this to start showing some signs of bullishness and moving higher to help my position, which may or may not happen. But it's almost a textbook trend. If you're into technical analysis and you draw like a trend line underneath that, you'll see that lows pretty much match up. Can't really do it on these. Well, you can't do it on these charts, but the lows that you're seeing here, 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 here. So there's a trend line support which is visible, but I'm talking about the horizontal support. So this price level across here, where it's just not moving much lower than. Yeah, the reason this is a bit, I got a shitty fill on this. I got in at 208, which was at the top. Otherwise, my break even would be a bit closer at the moment. Five minutes to the off, so there's likely going to be more money coming in.
This event will start in 5 minutes.
I may have to scratch this. It has persisted. Oh, no, it has broken fours. I'm tempted to add to this, but it's because I got that crappy fill on that. It's like don't want to increase my risk unnecessarily. So that breaking fours is good. These all visually look like they're continuing to persist to stream in, which is good. This is now approaching its high again. Just going to move this up a bit, because if this does break, so the highest it's gone before is at 208, But if it does break, it's a good likelihood that it's going to be quite a violent break as it moves higher. If it does break. Just wary the time now as well. 3 minutes 30. Net stake of 4. Approaching that highest high, finding resistance off it. So it's having trouble breaking it. 3 minutes. Just gonna thin this. So thinning the position just means that I'm reducing it. So from 4, if that gets taken, so it's gone down to 2. Allows me a bit more wiggle room on my break even. More money coming in. Looks like this is starting to drift a bit. I do like the way that's produced a higher low, and I do feel this is going to move significantly higher, but it's just like time is ticking down. And my positioning on this hasn't been great. It's persisting lower. 1 minute 30 to go. So got to act. It's broken 2s again. That's drifting, not good. No. Pretty sure had I stayed in that could have got hit, but I'm just erring on the side of caution now, so taking a 9p loss on that. Not the end of the world, but I'm out way before the off. There is persistent money coming in as well. That's likely to push that down. So, yeah, just trying to act a bit earlier than I had been in previous days. So that is a loss chalked up for today. What's that? One win, 1 loss, I think. Can't even remember. So 8 minutes the off. Choppy, sideways, coming in. Just reorder these just in case. The one that sticks out the most is this one that's been coming in, steaming in. I'm gonna. This is oh shit. Okay, so this has started to drift a bit, and this has been steaming. So I'm just putting. That's a bit sticky, isn't it? Just putting a tentative position in here. Is approaching 5s as well. If it were to break 5s, that'll be a good sign of it moving aggressively lower. So 6 minutes to the off. This looks like it could be potentially breaking that resistance to move higher, but I'm just wary of this coming in, because this coming in is going to, look at that money there, it's going to push this higher. I'm going to thin that a bit. So just thinning out the position, just to give myself a little bit more wiggle room in terms of break even. Should this get hit, I'll be happy with that. But of course I'm not not going to leave it there just in the hope that it hits that. If there's signs that that could not get hit, then got to act on it. This is drifting strongly, I think, out of the corner of my eye. This is coming in a bit, but this has still got that downward pressure, which makes me feel I'm okay leaving in this position, at least for now. That's starting to drift, as is that, which is going to help this. Just wary of this price stagnating now. Still very strong downtrend, at least in the part of the chart that's updated. It might be consolidated now, but well, look at that money. No, I'm just going to get out at market if I can. Yeah, playing a bit more of a defensive game today. I saw
this event will start in 5 minutes.
Just in the corner of my eye, that money come in, which was likely to cause this to drift and go counter to my position. 5 minutes left. I'm going to green and I'm going to go. And the only reason I'm doing this today is just really a test, because I feel that as I said earlier, I've just been destroying what have been profitable positions by trading more, kind of in that less than 5 minute period. So just on the defense a bit today. And that's not, that's not being kind of, it's just experimentation. It's not being like unwilling to take positions. It's just I'm trying to find a biting point between when I trade and how frequently I trade, what amount to trade at. 20 minutes off, that is a long fucking time, isn't it? Is there another one before that? No. Cool, these are oddly spaced today. There's one at 120, 125, 133. So, if I wanted to trade the whole day, there are races on until 7:45 today. But, yeah, fuck that. At least for now. So far, let's have a look at the P&L. 13p, first race, 70p in the second one. Still waiting for one to close, but I think that was like a 9p loss. And then that one there was a 9p win. So that will net each other out. So that's about 30p up on the day. Yeah. It's all about that strike rate, baby. Just him trying to make sure I've got a decent strike rate. So strike rate is all about how frequently you win to how frequently you lose. So if I can maintain a good strike rate, then that kind of means I want to then level up, which would mean increasing the amount of money that I work with and having a actual staking strategy in place. Because at the moment I'm just using twos across the board, which isn't the best. Well, it's not scalable. It's not, in my opinion. Some people will just may disagree, may just use all the same stakes all the time. Depends what your results say. But my objective is to use different stakes across different odds to increase my profitability over time. But that is dependent on having a good strike rate. God, just chatting shit today. Let's just focus on what's going on. It is still very far from the off in trading terms anyway. Just looking off screen at the moment. Okay, so looking back at the screen now, so it looks like there's been this is coming in, definitely steaming, not streaming. God, for so long I was saying streaming, but it's actually steaming. Weird, that one of those words that you've always been saying wrong. Continuing to come in. Is there anything drifting particularly hard? Not really. There's not much money behind this as well. It's starting to build. So, yeah, it can be, as you can see, for some people this might be as just boring as fuck, just to sit here and wait. I'm not perturbed by it though. 15 minutes to the off. Volume looks like it could be picking up. I mean, it's a poor quality. I didn't even clock that really. Should have been the first thing I clocked. But I mean, it's only 30 grand match with 15 minutes off from the off, which is, yeah, I mean, that's reasonable for this, for that far out. So when it's 5 minutes and it's still 30 grand, that's a bit, worrying in terms of the quality. So these have both started to show signs of at least ticking up. That moving up is going to be good for this. Do I want to... Right, I'm going to just put in a cheeky speculative short in there. And that this is... this is going to have to make some new highs. So I've stayed relatively light on that, or as light as possible, in the anticipation that we could see a breakdown and that we've had some decent bearish move previously. And I'll put in a closing order there, just because, the market might move suddenly and I might get filled on the off chance. Or if it does start moving and that's the level that I determine I want to get at, then I've got a decent position on it. But I may look to add to this if I can see good reason to. Good enough reason. So that was moving out, this was moving in. Going to take a closing order there if possible. Partial exit. 29. So if 29 more pounds gets matched, I'll get filled. May or may not happen. May not, as it looks. So it's extended down. Almost got filled. Then it moved away. C'est la vie. C'est la vie, mon ami. So I'm just checking to see that the dynamic of the market is still valid in terms of the decision I had to get in. Still looking like it's trending down. This still looks like it's drifting. So I will hold tight for now. 12 minutes to the off. May even look for signs to increase my position. That actually was a good point there, but I didn't. Too slow. Too slow, mate. Gotta think faster. Gotta move faster. So, had a partial fill. Taking some of that money off. Big chunk of money there. Just going to push this down, push this up. If it's real. Oh, but once it's evaporated, alright. Add into this position now. Trying to steal a tick. Which can be a dangerous thing to do. Jeopardizes profit. But overall, this is still pretty strong. Downtrend. Just have to be super careful here. 11 minutes to the off. Okay, got filled on that. Looks like it could be finding support at this level. So I'm happy to keep this, at least for now, this final position in. I've got more wiggle room in terms of where my break even is. Thanks to the these trades that I've been able to, these lays that I've taken off some of the money. So at this point, I'm hoping that this breaks this support that we've seen in the price at around this level, and this level 2.3, 2.28. You can see in the chart it's these lowest lows to date. The price has come down, it's hit support, it's gone back up, and it's come back down, hit again. So looking for a breakout of that previous support to make new lows, which is why I've got this position in here tentatively. Still 10 minutes to the off, so decent amount of time. That moving in isn't going to help. Just going to close that out. I saw the money building on that. I've already achieved a decent profit. Well, relative terms, a profit. It's finding support, and there was no real signals that this could be moving lower, at least in the short term. So rather than see that hard work go to waste, just exited and just reassessing, really, just seeing if there's another opportunity to get in, probably at a better price even. I mean, this has been just, for the whole time we've been watching it, just sideways, very rangy. Hasn't, in terms of the match price, it hasn't moved out of this range. This also has now been very rangy. When's the next race? 25. See, now the dynamic of this has changed, whereas before there was a clear stream, still saying that, a clear steam where the price was coming in. It's not so clear now. The dynamic has changed, so it's important just to listen in on what the market's doing, because it's not really been persisting with those lower lows as it had done previously, which was the context when we got in, 20 minutes or 15 minutes before the off. It's just been rangy. So if I'd still be thinking, I want to short this, nope. In fact, it looks like it could be drifting to break resistance and move higher. So yeah, it's just a good idea just to keep your wits about you of what's happening. And in the ideal world, these charts would refresh much quicker. I think it's a 5-second refresh, which is not great, but at least it gives a reference point historically of what's happened. No, look, it's busting lower. As good as this looks, I think I'm gonna green on this. I mean, it looks tradable, but what I'm just trying to do today at least is get in early on some of these, and it's proven okay so far. So that's just another 9p in the bank. And, I'm perfectly aware that just one loss might take all of this back. But the thing is, if I get a loss early on, then there's still time to fix it. So this kind of like 8 to 15 minute might be the new sweet spot. I'll just have to see, really. So this has been coming in, finding support, slight drift. This has been rangy. This has also been rangy, very similar. Just this has been moving less range. This has been moving more. This kind of movement up here and then choppiness at the top. This movement up here and then choppiness at the top. Not enough money really in this yet on the favourite. Oh, that was a grand. Bloody hell, someone put a grand through there. You can see that order in the volume. So that caused that price to move out. You can see that sharp move. Someone's dumped a grand into the market. This is why, look, it's such an illiquid market. If you look how much is being matched on, or how much is available on the book at this time, it's just 2 digits, 3 digits. So if you come in there with a bloody, order like that to lay with a grand, and there's only this much amount of liquidity, it's going to push the price up, and you can see that correlates directly in the chart. Bang. And now it's just retracing. It's kind of settling back to the previous norm before moving on, and that move there is going to affect everything else on the book as well. So this moving out is going to move these in. But yeah, let's just stop chatting and have a look at what's going on. This coming in looks, it's a little bit tasty, this one. It's persistently coming in since it's broke support. So gonna need to see a drift on this to short this. Looks very, very tasty. Have some of that. But no, it's too early. Yeah, well, bloody hell, 8 minutes to the off. Still waiting. You can see it's being backed in. Just looking at. Oh yeah, that was 3 grand matched. So that 3 grand there match pushed the price out slightly. I'm just looking at this volume bar here. What I'm waiting for, what I want to see, is this drift and this come in with money. At the moment, all the money seems to be on this side. So it looks like this one's coming in. You can tell that. I mean, you could use that to see the percentage of the weight of the book. It takes the top 3 orders. Oh, wait, let's see if that. It's a bit slow on that. I'm not sure if that's real or not. And if that evaporates, the market's just going to collapse and go higher. Ugh. Yeah, this is admittedly not being the easiest to read. Persistent money coming in now on this. Could have been a shit fill on this. Just gonna steal a tick on that and leave this in the hope that it gets matched. Actually, that's coming in. It's going out rather. Okay, so got quite a heavy position on. At the bottom of its range, so I'm going to need to see it basically make new lows. This continue to drift, this continue to come in. Just going to lighten this a little bit. I just feel 6 is too heavy a position for what I'm seeing. Basically got in at the bottom of what its recent price action was. So if it allows me, I'm gonna lighten it. There's not much money. I mean, there's this above it, but I don't know if that's real. If that starts to move down, then that will be convincing. But it's just being put outside the money. Even if that does get eaten through, there's nothing above it, which is worrying.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
And you can see how the book's skewed. So you can see here, oh look, weight of money is 90%, but the brunt of that is at the back of the, weight out of the money. Most of the volume of this is just at the outside the money. So that's why using this as a percentage of how, where the weight of the money is not really a good thing. And it was matched. So we're going to need some resistance at 3.7. Yeah, my confidence in this moving potentially lower is waning, but I did lighten the position as a precaution of that. This is persisting down, not good. Lots of money coming through. Still waiting in the anticipation we'll see a retrace at 2s. If it breaks 2s, then yeah. Just wondering why this isn't reacting. It broke 2s, but it didn't aggressively go through it. This market is a complete fuckery. 3 minutes to the off. Just going to move this to break even. So this finding support should hopefully move this in a little bit. Willing to take a loss on this if needs be. Continue to drift. Let's just see, reorder these. See if anything's changed. Just waiting. 2 minutes. Yeah, I think that's where I've gone. I should have taken that position out when it was stagnant. Now we've got the activity coming into the market. It's going to be less assured at what price I'm going to be able to get out at. Just going to have to something must be coming in really strong. I think it's this one. And you can see this is just creeping away on me, and I haven't acted in enough time. Gonna have to red up, and that's all the hard work from the day.
This event will start in
possibly other days gone, just because of inability to act quick enough, or hoping for something's going to happen. But hey ho, just red up before the market goes. And this is why as well, this is why it's just such a balancing act between, if you can see the first years, decent strike rate, getting wins in, but it doesn't account for
30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
You know, just need to be aware that there's going to be bigger losses, or if you have bigger losses, that's going to be a losing strategy overall. And also, I think there was just too much. I'll watch that back on the video, but there's just too much hesitation in terms of
10 seconds.
What I could have done when the price was stagnant, and then it moved away. I had to get out of bad fill. Of course, could have waited for it to pull back and get out that way, but there's no way that I could know that that would happen without having an old crystal ball. So we're running at a loss on the day. Nasty loss as well. But still insignificant in the grand scheme of things. So just need to put that to the back of the mind and just continue. And look to do better. So we've got, this is drifting. This is coming in, finding support. This is coming in. This looks like a more persistent drifter, steamer. So 6 minutes to the off, decent amount matched. Just trying to get a heartbeat. I mean, I didn't get in at a very sensible price on this. Got on at just above or at threes. So now basically the only way I can make money on this is if it breaks and makes new lows. I'm holding on to it because it's still okay in terms of where the position is. There was other stuff drifting, but it has stagnated, hasn't it? Just going to scratch it, at least for now. Unless I see something convincing happen. Convincing would be moves up on these. Money is building on that. That disappeared.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I'm still bearish on this. I'm gonna do sort of added to that because I felt there was more money coming in to potentially break this threes. So I've gone at 3.1 and 3. There we go. Just going to lighten that a little bit. So I did average down because I've got in another position at a higher price. Just taking a partial exit based on that. And leaving in another position in the anticipation that we could see a break of threes. Because if it does break threes, then it should be quite a violent break. That is, if I get matched on this, still might not get matched. 105 in this queue. Hopefully that should get matched. This is drifting, which helps me. Some more money coming in there. So I did get matched. So I need for this to get eaten through. This is a lot of support it's seeing at threes. So it's having trouble getting through that. But if it does move through, then it should be quite an aggressive move. In fact, let me just be slightly more conservative on that. 3 minutes to the off. Oh, okay. Let's just learn from mistakes because this price is stagnating again. Break even. Just didn't like the way the clock was ticking down. Price was stagnating. Good chance that this could move much higher, especially so near to the off. Hadn't broken threes. Just a few too many variables that were going against me. So rather than try and stick it out, I decided to fold. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. So, 18 minutes to the off. Have I selected the right one? Yes, I have. Cool, Tuesday. These big gaps normally I guess towards the end of the week, towards the weekend, the races will get a bit more closer together. But yeah, well, it wasn't so bad yesterday. Maybe there's just one course that isn't working today. I don't know. Don't know nothing about these horses. So, 17 minutes till the off. Very sleepy market at the moment. 30 grand matched. Should be relatively high quality given how much has matched so far with how much time is left until the off. But how do we play this? So we've got this very rangy, just consolidating price here for the quite a long period of time. This is the only thing that really pops out is this kind of steaming in, but they've all been quite range bound for quite a period of time. Excuse me. Yeah, so today's, just recapping on what today is shown. That was, I'll look back on that in the videos. But yeah, that was a unnecessary error, really. That £1, so it was £1.71. I had opportunity to get out of that earlier. Wasn't listening to what the market was telling me. So yeah, that's just something to learn from. In fact, maybe it was a case of just sitting on the hands completely, which is what I might do if this one, because this is just rangy as well. So I need a breakout of some sort, either to the upside or the downside on, pretty much all of these charts, to be honest. This one does look the best for potential steaming. So got my finger completely off the mouse at the moment, just watching, waiting and watching. Some movement on that. "14 minutes till the off." Some movement on this now. I'm favouring a short on this. This has started to drift a bit. Am I too late on this? Let's put something a little bit outside the money in case it ticks up. That way I'm not getting in right at the low. In fact, this would probably be a more sensible level where there's been money matched previously. very sticky. Look how stagnant this is. Nothing's getting matched on the touch. Just looking for signs of something else drifting. And these are all very, well, these ones at least are very similarly matched. Just too sticky for me. It's just taking too long to get matched. Bit more volume coming in. And that's not me being impatient with, oh shit, it's not getting matched. It's more, when you put an order in, you want to see that liquidity, that the order's getting matched within a reasonable amount of time. So that's not impatience, it's just what I anticipate the market to do, and it wasn't doing it. Okay, so that's starting to drift. So there, I'm happy to get in even though it's at a worse price, because I've seen this move here. It was towards 4s. I might be more savvy just trying to take a tick on this. There we go. Just worried that those 4s is going to act as resistance, causing this to drift again. Sorry, causing this to drift, because that would come in. Shut up and trade. All right. There's a nice drift that's starting to appear on that. So I'm just going to move that down slightly, potentially add to it. So I've added to it. Some nets 4 stakes on this. This is pushed higher. I haven't really been looking at this, have I? It's starting to drift. See, sometimes there's just so many things to pay attention to. You might miss something. This is finding support and moving higher, but this is also hasn't really persisted with much more move lower. Speak English, fucking hell. Hasn't moved lower either. So finding support still, which is good. Just reordering. Finding for support of 4s. Looks like it's gone into 6s and found resistance. Decent position on this, but it's way out of the money, so we'll have to come down quite a bit. Happy to maintain for now, but willing to take a loss should the need arise, and happy to take a profit if the market will allow me to. 8 minutes to the off. I'm going to lighten this. In fact, I might scratch it. Just because the market's not doing what I anticipated. Basically, the premise of my short there was based on this, but the market's now upturned since then and started to move higher. So even now it's now going in what would have been my favor. The context is just changed from the reason from I entered. So for that reason, I'm out, at least for now. Seven minutes. So what I'd ideally want to see this do to give him some convincing signs that this could now continue lower is break and then pull back. But yeah, time's ticking down. That's broken support. It's going to push that out. So I'm just looking at this because it looks like it's broken down, and I've put this position in outside of the money, if you like, outside of where the touch price is, which potentially allows me to steal a few ticks should it then start to move lower again. Ugh, I only wish these updated quicker. Okay, so I got filled on that. Got another position in there, trying to steal a tick. Six minutes to the off. Seeing this come in, cancelled that order. So that would work adversely against me. Looking for signs of, so that jumping out, signs of this could move in. Entered, trying to steal a tick at two different levels. Stealing ticks can be risky business because you know, but I've got a good reference point of the fours here, so breaking fours will be troublesome. It's starting to drift, should help this position, but it doesn't. It's at fours.
This event will start in 5 minutes.
Will we see it break
5
higher
minutes.
or come in to hit my profit target? Who knows? Okay, seeing money start to build on that side, so I'm actually it's happening too quickly to explain, but I'll do my best. I'm basically seeing this build on this side, which shows me to led me to remove, go for a bigger profit target and actually add to the position. Come on, fiddling about like that. So that greed could be my downfall, because I'm seeing it kind of stagnate a bit. Got that partial fill done. One remaining position, 3 minutes 40 to go. So just looking to get this last position out and protect the little profit got here, but got a decent break even at fours. Good logical level at the psych level of 4. Money at the touch price, which is persisting, which is good, means that they're serious. big chunk of money there, and there's stuff behind it at least to hold it up. So this coming in isn't going to help my position, but so 683 in the queue here, 900 or so matched. Hopefully this will get matched, and then I will green up. So that's matched. Oh, in fact, no, going to red up because of the losses that I incurred on this one. So made some losses early on. Reduced that loss by trading on another selection. You can see there hasn't been overall. It's just no persistent move at all on any of these. So that may change in the last few minutes here, where you see it start to break highs or lows. But I'm out of that market for now. So that's another loss chalked up. But I'd say traded well. I'm happy with. I mean, there were some parts of that I think could have been done better, but I'll just look back on that in a video in hindsight and see what could have been done different. Hindsight is 2020. So we've got now the 13:55. 6 minutes to the off. Again, very flat, very choppy. Let's just reorder. Several very flat markets that I've lost money in. That could be it. Just not finding stuff that's obvious. 5 minutes to the off, 35 grand matched, and mediocre. Reasonably tight book. A whole heap of money coming through, and not great readability on these selections. At least not for me. Someone else might see something that I don't. But alas, can't see anything tradable. Let's have a quick peek at what the next one after this is saying. It's definitely a higher quality one. 3-horse race. 12 minutes to the off. Choppy charts. This one's come in. High odds, but there's only 3 horses, so this could still see a decent chunk of money. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with this. Again, it's just tricky to trade this for me. So the way I'm reading this is we've seen this high here. So as the price moves into this level again at what's that? Probably about 1.85. There might be some resistance as it approaches these highs and falls away. But there's no discernible trend that I can see. This here is approaching this level here, which is 3s. If it breaks 3s, that will probably see a decent reaction. That's the clearer move that I can see. So, okay. I guess what I'm looking for here is movement up on this. Plus, greater than 1.85 would be good. And a move lower than 3s on this. 11 minutes to the off, 11 and a half. See, this is it's going back within its range now. It's just choppy, bam, 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 bam. as is this. Oh, 11 minutes see off. Again, more experienced traders may be able to see something I can't in this, but I'm just not looking to jump on the back of anything. And again, just not mad at the market. Market's going to do what it's going to do. It is what it is. I can just only react to it and try and keep my money management in check and not get angry at the market. So given the losses that I've got what, just quickly recap on P&L today. So 13p win, 13p profit, 17p profit, 9p loss, 8p profit, 8p profit, £1.71 loss, and a break even. So yeah, just take responsibility for your wins and your losses. Own them. So today, I'm down net minus £1.34. But yeah, I'm not excited and I'm not sad about it either way, and I guess that's the beauty of at least starting with small stakes. It just helps with that mindset and helps you focus on what's important, because I'm not thinking about how much money I'm making. I'm thinking about trading well and getting a decent strike rate up, and trading in a way that once I do add more money to this account, that everything that I'm doing now will translate into that trading with bigger money, but not taking the unnecessary risk of doing it now when I'm losing money. Money. Okay, this is moving in, but I'm not. Just trying to avoid just jumping on the back of movement. That's the way I used to trade, really. It's just you'd see something moving and then just jump on that movement. It's broken. So this is drifting. Prefer to have a bit more of a reason behind acting now, rather than just seeing it move. So the correlation between the prices, the previous price action. Otherwise you just chase something and then it just reverses on you. It still happens, but I mean, at least I'm building more of a story on it, so I've got more of a context. That is persisting. So it's coming to that key level of support now. So what would be good if it breaks it and then pulls back, and if there's enough time that would allow for an entry. Pulling back. Still a decent amount of money there. Okay. So I've entered this because it looks like it's broken support. It looks like it's pulled back. And it could go for another impulse move now. So for that reason I entered positions. Just trying to hopefully I get filled on this. Started to just didn't get filled. I'm just looking to act a bit sooner, so I took that to the next tick up. And of course, working with twos at such low odds, it means that the profit per tick isn't going to be as much. However, because it's divided by the current odds in order to green up, it means that there's more of it to spread across, if that makes sense. More money divided by each outcome, because it just divides it by, to green up, it just divides whatever the profit was, 6 by the current odds. So 6p, could have probably made more out of that if I had bigger positions, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Again, I'm just trying to find my own way on this. What works, what doesn't for me. Bloody, another 20 minutes. Might not be a bad thing. I'm trying to get in on these early, so 20 minutes is still probably too early. Oh, come on. "20 minutes is still a bit too early, but we'll just see how this materializes." So, got one at 250. 255, 303, 320. Man, my suspicion is that there's like one race course that maybe isn't working today. Just looking off screen at the moment. So, sort this out. So, while I glanced away there, looks like there's been some activity that's started to break, to potentially drift. This has started to come in. Looking to short this, potentially. Wow, it's very, very far off from the off. I'd expect that to be very sticky. Okay. Trying to hang on. Is that? So just stealing a tick there. Hopefully. I mean, there's movement in this market, and of course, like, the only reason this is possible is that I'm doing really small stakes. If I had like £100, £200 stakes, then this wouldn't be as viable, what I'm attempting to do here. So right at the front of the queue on this one. What's going on there? Just feels like it's still moving, but it felt like there was a pause there. Wait, didn't like that. I don't know if you saw that, but the price is kind of just, it just felt like it paused for a sec. So rather than leave positions in the market, I'm just not getting a good feeling on this. I think I've just been too impatient. So I'm going to scratch it, should the market allow me to, and recompose myself. Yeah, trading to that's lapse in concentration. I think just trading too early in the market. A whole lot of volatility. Which is needed to make money the way that I do, or attempt to make money the way I do. 15 minutes to the off. I'll scratch this up as a bad trade, really, because I was just trying to make a tick on that lapse in concentration, in that, you know, I wouldn't have traded that, even said it whilst I was in it, or wouldn't have traded had it been bigger stakes. So it's a good way to lose money. I mean, it had started to gently come in, but yeah, there was nothing really behind it to push it through that support. For that reason, I needed to be out. I shouldn't have even been in the first place. But hey ho, that's the point of recording this, just to show warts and all the mistakes. $14 minutes. Yeah, this must be boring to watch. If you're not into this, this could be a good way to help you go to sleep. So if it fails as a trading video, watch it just before you go to sleep, and go deeper and deeper into sleep now. So patience, patience, patience. Okay, 11 minutes to the off. Still not much discerning action. Ooh. Can really be like watching paint dry. But yeah, I think you've got to be okay with that. You've got to be okay with that. So, sorry, my attention had gone away from the markets here, so just going to get a slight heartbeat for what's going on. Slight drift on this coming in here. So, I'm going to go for a short on this because this does look like it's drifting, which is going to hopefully push this in. It's going to add to it, so going a bit heavier. Leave this position in, should it go up and get me filled at a better price. I think that's as heavy as I'm happy to go in on this. So now what we've got to see is this price start to move in. And gets more risky the closer this gets to threes as well. If it breaks threes, I'm just going to lay off some of that. Didn't like that sharp move down. So just reducing the position slightly, giving me a bit more wiggle room on the stop loss. Or break even. Willing to add to it again if I can. Or if the opportunity presents itself. But really looking for this to go up and this to come down. Or these all together to go up. Be helpful too. Just looking for any signs that price could reverse on me. Trying not to let that profit evaporate. Quick glance at the clock, 8 minutes left till the off. This is persisting up, which is going to help this position. Or should help this position. It's dropped down onto my price, but just ticked up a bit. But got a decent position here near the front of the queue. 138 has to get matched. Just going to take out slightly earlier, just because I've seen this come in ready to drag this up if needs be, but hoping it will drop down in. See, this is the time to hope. It's time to hope for more profit, not you know, hope that have something in there and be in profit, and then hope that it goes in your favor with, you know, being ready to take no, you know, losses. Like hoping for smaller losses though is different. It's yeah, you should act quicker, and I need to take my own advice on that in terms of I need to look back on the video from today, but acting quicker on losses, and you know, hoping for bigger profits is fine as long as there's the context there and already in profit. So what's that? 16p on this. 6 minutes 30 left on the day. Sticking with the theme of trying to get in earlier on stuff, despite the loss, which was, I think, on an early one. Just gonna stick with that theme at least for today as much as possible. So 10 minutes the off, 25 grand match, not great, patchy book, very similar priced orders, not the tightest of books, 103.3. Need that to be known in a liquid market, or as this gets nearer to the off, this will come down to 101 point something, whatever. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of money in this. So could be again another way to lose money very easily. But looking at what the prices have done, this is, I mean, it's come in, it's found support. It's just quite rangy, channely. This is steamed in, but flattened out, tapered out, found some support. Looks like it might have broken support in recent action, probably at this 6s. So it came down to 5.7 and then has moved back. It's moving back now. As a cursory glance, if I were to favour anything, it would be shorting this. But just need a bit more context. Yeah. You can see, look, it's all double digits on the touch here, even gaps in the prices. In a liquid market, that doesn't have it happen. Every single price is got some money on it, and it's usually 3 or 4 digit. Or the US markets, that might be interesting to have a look at actually, if there's another break. I'll just jump over to the US markets to show you the what a super liquid market is. I think they've almost matched, I think it's about 700 million that's matched on that, which is the biggest market ever on Betfair. 700 million. So Yeah, this is the reality, man. This shit can be, just a lot of time it's just doing nothing. This isn't. Yeah, it's going up. 7 minutes to the off, 30 grand matched. Very similar priced horses. Bloody hell, they're all like sixes, aren't they? Quite a big field though. So this could be trickier to read in terms of the inverse relationship. Whereas if there's fewer selections in the race, it means that a movement in one is going to have a movement in one is going to have a stronger impact on a movement on the other. When the selection's bigger or the odds are quite similarly priced, it means that the impact isn't going to be, the inverse relationship isn't going to be as great. So for example, this selection here is taking up 17% of the book, sixes 16%. I mean, the top three, they do still represent 50% of the probability of the book, but it's just something to be aware of, the different prices, how they impact each other, or different selections, how they impact each other. Oh god, yeah. Okay, so that's broken sixes. I'm just thinking to myself, did I get on that just because it was moving? I'm gonna scratch it. Just reassess, because there wasn't much money behind that. It was moving, but in hindsight, this wasn't moving out. So yeah, I just
This event will start in 5 minutes.
cut my losses quickly there, because I didn't feel that decision was warranted. It's doing the same thing again. It's persisting down. This time looks like it's moving out, but my position on this won't be great. 4 minutes to the off. Still not a whole lot of money. Anticipating it could find resistance off of sixes. If it moves much higher, that's a problem. But let's see what happens. This could find support off of fives, which is good. These are drifting, which is good. Price is stagnating though. 3 minutes to the off. It's just a really sticky market. It's just not. It's not moving. Move to break even now. It's a relatively light position. Could find support off of fives, pushing this down. This is still at the top of its range, which is good. Don't know if there's anything else that's come in. Yeah, well, this looks like it's been coming in. And it's still coming in. Three minutes to the off. Still finding. could now be finding support at 6s rather than resistance. I'm going to have to move that up to potentially take the loss. Although, oh shit, too late on it. That started to aggressively move up, which gave more credence to this one. Potentially moving down. No. And what I got hit. It's just red up on this. Yeah, not particularly happy with what's going on there. That doesn't get matched. Que fazendo? Muito bem. So, not being the best of days trading, but hey, this is what it's about. So next one here is at 233. Flat. Bloody hell. Alright. I'm going to just show you the US markets for the presidential election and show you what ridiculous liquidity is like. So
this event is now in play.
So this is one that, I mean, there's so much money on this, the columns aren't even big enough almost. But this has had 707,809,448 pounds matched on it, which is a beast of the market. The most matched prior to this was the 2016 elections, which was 200 million. So you can just see how much money is in this. And on this, what I've done is just position myself so that, again, no matter the outcome, whether Biden or Trump won, I would make money on it. So I skewed it so that basically Biden would there's more money on him, but any of the other outcomes would still bring in a profit, albeit less. But the reason this still hasn't settled is obviously they're doing all their recounts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I know nothing about politics, but this was a relatively easy market to read in that there was just so much liquidity. It was slow moving. So it's just a case of making markets. In fact, I could still do that on this, making markets. So it's just laying them back in. But I'm adverse to doing that at such short odds. And also I've just repurposed the capital that I was using. So to get this, basically, I don't know if it shows you on match batched. No, you can't see it in here. But basically this was, to get this, it was using £1,000 just backing in and laying. So each tick was worth about £10. I've just done that several times over and then spread the profit across the outcomes. But that's what, that's what's possible in a super liquid market. They don't come along. I mean, they probably come along all the time, but that's the only time I was really looking for it. But the thing about the presidential election is that there was the end point was so far in. So I started doing this in September, and the end point was just so far in the future. When the end point so far in the future, it means that you've got less risk, because it's not like with these horse races where you've got 10 minutes to the off and it's just ticking down, 5 minutes to the off. You've got less that you can do with a position when that's the case. So yeah, that's just to give you an idea of how different markets might be formed. But let's just have a look back and see what this. So this has only got 100,000. Actually, no, that's a pretty decent amount. 100 grand match, 5 minutes to go. Very flat, drifting, What am I saying? Flat, steaming, drifting. God, get your game face on, mate. Can't even speak today. So let's just have a look at what's going on here. See if we can take advantage of any movements. Just going to get a heartbeat of the market here. So this one steaming in. I'm just cautious of these threes here, but this being a crossover point could find some support. This looks like it's drifting, which is aiding this position here.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
This is a bit closer to the off than the other ones. This has double bottom, so it's come and found support here twice without breaking. So it could bounce. But I don't want to read too much into that. Just reordered there. So this, what was the second favourite, is now the favourite. Breaking threes would be significant. I could trade the potential pullback. Oh, a big chunk of money there. Is that enough to push it past? It's back in. Just don't want to be the mug that gets in at the bottom on this. Okay, it's persisting. And it's broken threes. And it's evaporated and it's gone counter. Looks like I was the mug. But hey, there's enough context for it. This was still at the top of its range. This was money coming in on that side. It's just struggling at that threes, isn't it? What's the time? 3 minutes 30 till the off. Looking at the chart as well, it's more apparent that this is flattening out. So just going to bring that to break even. There's a big chunk of money there that came in. See how it got matched. Some of these others are coming in strong as well. It's not going to help me. So, do I chalk up a loss on this while I still have the chance at a reasonable price? Just trying to gauge what the other ones are doing out the corner of my eye. It looks like that's coming in. Yep. So lighten that position. So just seeing this stream as well. Steam. 2 minutes. That could, I mean, in these last 2 minutes, it could see it push it past those twos, but, sorry, past threes. But I'm wary. If anything, okay. Just saw an opportunity on that one because that 60s looks like it was resistance. This was pushing down. This was struggling to move lower. 1 minute to go. Just read up. Reduced the loss, but yeah, it's just one of those days. One of those days. So I'm going to see when the next one is. See what call it is. May call it a day. 18 minutes. So I think I'm going to call this a day after this one. At least have a break after it. 18 minutes till the off. So just a quick recap on today. So started 13p profit, 17p profit, 9p loss, 8p profit, again 8p profit, £1.71 loss, break even, minus 20p loss, 6p profit, 16p profit, 8p profit. So brings me, and there's still one to come in, I think, one or two. So it's about £1.40, £1.40 to £1.50 loss on the day, predominantly skewed by that big loss of 171, which I could have handled better. But yeah, that's today, and I think I'm going to make this my last race, unless it depends what the next one after it. I'm going to see how this one goes. Let's have a look. Oh, it's 18 on that, isn't it? Yeah, so it's about £1 at a 58 loss I'm looking at today. So this one is finding support after steaming in. This one has steamed, retraced, come back in, finding support as well. Looks at about threes, just above threes. This one has drifted. So let's see what we can make of this. $14 minutes to off. Decent amount of activity being so far off. 65 grand matched, almost. I'm very tempted to fade this. In terms of fading is going counter. It's not really a trend. It's going against what the previous trend was. So buying this, but there's just not enough evidence. Shorting this might be the better option if it breaks support. And I see a drift in this. Yeah, sorry, just thinking through my vocalizing my thought process. I do want to short this, but I just can't see anything else moving to warrant that. I want to short this, but I want to see other stuff moving out. Well, it's a good thing I did as well. Look, there's money coming in, potentially pushing this up, or at least to the top of its range. This breaking threes could be significant. This reaching twos could be significant. Yeah, I don't want to read too much into this. It's always the thing. Got to just be, flexible. Don't read too much into what the market hasn't shown. Use the facts. 12 minutes to the off. Does look like it's on a gentle steam. Just a gentle one, brother. Just a gentle one. Nothing too drastic. Seen some erratic moves on that, which is making me want to short this, but it's not breaking anything. See, when it breaks previous levels, that's kind of a reactionary point. It feels like it's getting a bit more liquid now. More money coming in. Even more money. Okay, gonna try this. I'm going to scratch that because it didn't happen straight away. If it was going to break, it would break in an instant. And although it felt like the money was coming through, again, I'm not paying enough attention to these. These haven't broken. So smaller stakes, at least it can be quite nimble in terms of exiting. That's a new high. Just looking at this breaking highs here. So I have entered a £4 net position with a partial exit on threes, which is previous. 9 minutes see off. Just going to add to this. I feel there's more warrant of a break as it gets to the twos. If this pushes past twos, come on. If that goes past twos, that's going to help this. It's finding resistance, which doesn't help this. Don't need that. It's just flip-flopping, isn't it? Just going to lighten this because it's not doing what I want it to do or what I anticipated it to do. It's going to do what it wants, but I envisaged it breaking lower. It's not doing that, so I need to act accordingly to reduce losses or protect capital. It's starting to drift away on me a bit. 7 minutes to the off. You can see in the chart here it's hitting resistance, so it's not really been making new lows. Just moving all stops up here so I can get, or take profits so that I can get decent position should the market suddenly shift. But this is persisting still. And my attention hasn't really been on anything else. No, these are quite high. I mean, they have been coming in, which is going to affect it, but just not as much. Hmm. 6 minutes. Just keeps it, looks like it's keeping like approaching the twos, and then fucking pay attention. So let's see if this can bust through twos. 5 minutes to the off.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
There's going to be even more money come through now. But is that going to help me or be to my detriment? Having another attempt here now at breaking twos on this. And obviously this breaking threes. Got some of it matched, so I've lightened my position now. Could be finding support at twos here, which is going to help this. But it still hasn't broken threes. I'm running out of time. So maybe I should have just put all of that at break even. And I would have got matched. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. Some money building on this. I'll be happy with a break even on this. If the market will give it to me. Movement up there, which will help this, put pressure on this to come down, or vice versa. So I've got it bang on support really. The lowest level it's traded at any substantial volume. So I'm not really anticipating a break at the moment, but I am looking for it to at least meet support. Some money building up on this side. In hindsight, maybe a earlier break even would have been more sensible. I did get matched at 3-1, where I had that £2 stake in. That's what this is all about, isn't it? Just seeing what works and what doesn't. This is just moving away. It did jump. One minute 40 till the off. Fuck this. To cut my losses. Another loss on the day. That's another one. There's going to be quite a few to look back on and learn from, really, for today. Just going to have a peek at this last, this one here. 6 minutes off. See what I can do on this. If anything, shit amounts. Yeah, I'm going to call that a day. But yeah, that's the way she goes. It's the way she goes. Some you win, some you lose. So it's a losing day today. So let's just go over the numbers. So where was this one for? 250. Which is that one? So had a, let's refresh this. 13p loss. Sorry, so starting from the beginning, 13p profit, 17p profit, followed by a 9p loss, 8p profit, 8p profit again, £1.71 loss, 0 break even, 20p loss, 6p profit, 16p profit, 8p loss, 18p loss, and now I think that's a 40 whatever, 41,
This event will start in
41 or
minutes.
42p
5 minutes.
loss. That's about, it's almost £2 down on the day. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Made some silly mistakes there, made some good decisions as well, but that's where the video is going to come in useful, just to look back and see how I can improve. Likely to be here tomorrow around the same time, so it's around midday most days, so see how that goes tomorrow. Until then, see you later.